Hello and welcome to tonight's matchup between the Immanuel Lutheran Lancers and the Blair Taylor Wildcats. Serving first for the Wildcats today will be number 5, Jasmine Gomez. And we are ready to go. That one gonna head into the net, and the Lancers will take the first point of the game and lead it 1-0. Serving first for the Lancers will be number 13, Kira Green. That one clears the net. Good spot. Sent back and into the net behind number 14, Ostenson. Lancers lead it 2-0 early. And Green will serve again. Another nice spot there. Sent immediately back by a diving Ostenson. Set for Dobb, who will send it to the back. Sent up and set for number 5, Gomez, who sends it over, saved by Lamphere. Too far for Sito to get it, ends up falling under the net, and the Wildcats get their first point of the night and cut the lead down to 1, 2-1. No subs tonight for the Wildcats, just starting 6. So towards the end, Lancers should be able to fare better than what they will be doing in the first 1.5 some sets. That'll be an ace off the lunging hands of Lamphere as the Wildcats tied up at 2. And number 14, Ostenson, will continue to serve. This one received by Green. Dobb sets it up for Eichstead, fading away, ends up sending that one into the net as the Wildcats take a 1-point lead, 3-2. That one goes into the net as the Lancers now tied up at 3. And number 14, Anna Eichstead, heads back to serve. Only the second server for the Lancers. Good serve to the back. Sent up and over by number 15, Walters. Received by Sito. Hamilton set, and Sito will send it over. Tipped off the hands, number 11, Curran, into the face of number 14, Ostenson. And the Lancers now lead it by 1, 4-3. And Eichstead will serve again, trying to extend that lead. That one drops about 2 inches off the sideline. And the Wildcats will tie it up at 4. And number 15, Noelle Walters, will serve. Just finds his way over off the hands of Green. Hamilton sets it back up, and Green gonna get it over. Good spot by Green. Sito sends it immediately back after being sent over by Curran. Curran gonna set it up for Heath to the back. Tipped by Green, and Eichstead not in position to receive it as the Lancers now trail by 1, 5-4. Walters sends this one under the net as the Lancers now tied up at 5. Both teams pretty evenly matched. Lancers have yet to win a set or a game this year. Big chance of changing it tonight. Service by Dobb, received and set up for number 11, Curran, to the back. Off the hands of Dobb and straight down. And the Wildcats will retake a 1-point lead, 6-5. And number 11, Beta Curran, will head back to serve. Bit of a lineup issue that is resolved, and Curran will serve, just clears the net, saved by Hamilton. Set for Lamphere, sends that one straight up, ends up finding over, and ends up being sent into the net by number 15, Walters. So it all works out for the Lancers as number 16, Maggie Sito, heads back to serve, trying to give him a lead and hopefully start on a bit of a run to hold on to that lead. Game currently tied at 6. Siddose just hits off the top of the net. And the Wildcats will get it right back. And their 1-point lead, score now 7-6. Service by number 10, Hansen. That one also into the net. And we back-to-back net serves as the Lancers and Wildcats remain tied again, 7-7. Both teams been trading points for quite a while. Hamilton going to try to break that and give them a lead. Sent up and over by number 5, Gomez. Received by Daub, off the net, can't be saved by Lamphere as the Wildcats get it right back and lead it by 1 again, 8-7. And a timeout by the Lancers. See if they can start getting off of back-to-back points. They currently trail it by 1, 8-7. I was watching the Wildcats in warm-ups. They only have 6, so they'll be tired toward the end. Especially if we keep going back and forth. All 3 sets will take fairly long. Lancers C team has also dwindled, only now 3 on the bench. During the warm-ups, it was mostly number 11 and number 19, who stood, not number 19, number 15, who stood out the most. They've been doing fairly well so far, and this is a really big chance to take it. This is second to last home game for C team, and only 3 games after this at Bloomer, Augusta here for senior night, and then Indy Gilmanton to finish it off. Out of those 3, this is our best chance to win it. Big match, big conference matchup for varsity and JV, so a lot should be showing up later on in the night. Last set and a half will be very interesting to see as number 19, Heath, misses her serve after replaying the last one. And the Lancers will tie it up at 8. And number 12, Kaylee Lamphere, one of the Lancers' better servers here. Up to serve. Sends that one into the net as the Wildcats retake a 1-point lead, 9-8. And number 5, Jasmine Gomez will head back to serve. That one just clears the net, received by Daub. And miscommunication by Green and Hamilton. And the Wildcats will now take a 2-point lead, finally breaking that streak. And extending their lead now to 2, trying to extend it to 3. Gomez will serve again. This one received by Hamilton. Tipped over by Green. However, she was in the net as the Wildcats now take a 3-point lead, 11-8. Serve received by Hamilton. Lamphere sets it up, and Eichstead will bump it over. Saved and sent over by number 15, Walters. Green sets it back, and Daub will send it over, but 8 feet off the sideline. As the Wildcats now extend their lead to 4, 12-8. After that timeout, was supposed to do Lancers some good, ended up not doing them any good at all. Since the timeout, been a 5-1 run, make it 6-1 off the latest ace in favor of the Wildcats, who now lead it by 5, 13-8. Received by Daub. Sets it up, and Eichstead will bump it into the net, ran into a running Daub, as the Wildcats now extend their lead to 6, 14-8. Lancers need to stop it right here. Can't afford much more. This one received by Hamilton. Daub will bump it over. Running save, sends it back. This one received by Daub. And set for Eichstead, who will just bump it over the net. Good spot. Lunging save. And set across from number 14, Ostenson, into the net. Lancers got it back down to 5, 14-9. As number 13, Kira Green, will head back to serve for the second time tonight. That one just clears the net. Bounces off the hands of number 5 and tipped over number 15, Walters. Cito sets it up for Eichstead. He's going to punch it over and too far off that sideline by about 2 feet as the Wildcats retake a 6-point lead, 15-9. And number 14, Ostenson, will serve that one into the net. Point and serve, go right back to the Lancers. It'll be now number 14, Anna Eichstead, who will take over. Hoping for at least 2 or 3 straight to keep this game a little bit closer than 5. Good spot there. It'll be an ace for Eichstead to start as the Lancers bring it within 4. And number 3, Alex Nelner, will enter for number 11, Daub. Oh, number 12, Lamphere. And number 14, Eichstead, will serve again, fresh off her first ace. Lineup issue for the Wildcats. And they are good to go. And Eichstead will continue to serve, now within 4. Good spot, received, and good dump over saved by Eichstead. Good punch over by Cito. Sent over by Ostenson. Cito sets it up, and Hamilton will just gets it over off the net. Can't be saved over the net by number 15, Walters. Tried to just tip it over. Ends up rolling over the net and back onto the Wildcats side as they now call a timeout. Lancers within 3, 15-12. Game started out pretty close till about 8-7, and Lancers called that timeout. Wildcats went on that big run. And since then, after the quick traded point into the net by Green, Lancers have been pulling it together. They're now within 3. Eichstead still serving. Her first one turned out to be an ace. And have won the volley the last 2 times. Hoping for maybe at least one more to keep it close. They've still got a bit of time. Wildcats still 10 points away from winning the first set as the Lancers come out of the timeout. Wildcats look to be just about ready to continue as well. And Eichstead will head back to continue to serve. Serves by Eichstead, trailing by 3, 15-12. Currently on a 3-0 run with an ace from Eichstead. Lineup is good for the Wildcats, and Eichstead will serve. Another nice spot there, saved and set for number 11, Curran. Sent up, off the net, saved by Cito. And Daub will send it over. Good spot by Daub. Diving save, sent off to the side too far. Daub gets a kill off the hands of Hansen out of play as the Lancers are now within 2, 15-13. That one into the net, but she did her job. Lancers, instead of down 6, are now down only 3, 16-13. And number 15, Noelle Walters, will head back to serve. And she'll send that one under the net, right back to the Lancers, who are within 2 again, 16-14. As number 11, Ellie Daub, heads back to serve. Nice big hole right in front of the net on the right side. She's ready to go. And it'll be set up for number 10, Hansen, over the net, saved by Eichstead. Green sends it up, and Hamilton can't quite send it over, ends up bouncing under the net as the Wildcats bring it back to 3, 17-14. And number 5, Gomez, will head back to serve. Nope, number 11, Curran, will head back to serve. Miscommunication by Daub and Eichstead. Wildcats extend their lead to 4 again, 18-14. Received by Eichstead. Siddle set back too far for Nelner, fading away. Green was in position to take that. Nelner didn't notice, and it ends up falling out of play as the Wildcats bring it within 5, 19-14. Just gets over the net, tipped off hands of Nelner to the back line. Another ace for the Wildcats, and they now lead it by 6, 20-14. Diving attempt by Daub ends up landing on the line as the Wildcats now lead it by 7, 21-14. Diving attempt by Eichstead, sent back and over by Nelner. Set across for number 5, Gomez, received by Eichstead. Nelner sends it up, and Hamilton sends it under the net as the Wildcats, currently on a 6-0 run, lead it by 8, 22-14, and they're looking like they might finish this one off, just 3 points away from a set 1 win. To the back, received by Green, sent up and over by Hamilton. Sent across and drops it on the line. That's number 19, Heath. And she'll bring the Wildcats now within 2, 23-14. Received by Green. Siddle sends it up. And Nelner will send it over. Good spot to the back. Sent immediately back, but falls into the net. Can't be saved off the net by number 19, Heath. And the Lancers are now within 8, 23-15. Gonna need to go on a pretty massive run. It'll be number 16, Maggie Siddle. Can get the last one over. There's a nice one there. Sent immediately back. And Green will set it up for Hamilton. Will just tip it over. However, gets under the net as the Wildcats are now just 1 point away from taking the first set. Currently leads it by 9, 24-15. Trying to win it will be number 10, Emma Hansen. And the scoreboard was off a second ago. And I guess no one was looking at it before, but it should be 24 actually. They are wrong. Because it was supposed to be 23, and he accidentally clicked it twice, which turned into 24. And then he changed it back, but then they thought that was the mistake, so whatever, it's fine. 25-15 will be the final score. Probably would have been that anyway. Lancers probably would not have come back from a 9-point deficit. But I guess we'll never know. Wildcats win the first set by 10, 25-15. And we are ready to begin set 2. New entry for the Lancers will be number 17, Miley Eberhardt. Entering for the first time tonight, and she'll start off the serving. Lancers must win this one to keep the game alive. They got a good chance. Not a good way to start, as Eberhardt sends this one just off the top of the net. And the Wildcats take a 1-0 lead early as number 19, Heath, heads back to serve. That one just clears the net off the hands of Willits and out of play. Centimeter away from being Lancer point, unfortunately just tips over. And the Wildcats will get an ace and now lead it by 2-0. Serve received by Willits. That will be sent all the way back. Set up for Heath, who will tip it over to the back, saved by Eberhardt. Sido set for Eichstead, fading away, sends it down the line, drops it on the line. Good kill by Eichstead. And the Lancers bring it within 1, 2-1. As number 14, Anna Eichstead, heads back to serve. Good spot, received, and just tipped over, saved by Sido, who sends it immediately back. Saved and sent under the net by number 19, Heath. And the Lancers will tie it up at 2. As number 14, Anna Eichstead, heads back to serve. Set, ends up finding its way over. Willits will send it immediately back. Saved and set across for Ostenson, just tips it over. And a lift on the Wildcats. And the Lancers will take a 1-point lead, 3-2. Miscommunication with the lights. Someone backstage tried to turn them on, ended up turning ours off. Not bulbs going bad, because that would be really bad. As that one just tips over the net and lands on the line. It'll be an ace for Eichstead as they now lead it by 2, 4-2. That one just clears the net, tipped up in the air, sent back, and just over by number 14, Ostenson. Sido high set for Willits, just tips it over, saves it immediately back, saved by Eichstead. And Sido will set it for Willits, fading away, gets it over, but too far off the sideline by about 8 feet. And the Wildcats will bring it back within 1, 4-3 off of Eichsted's 4-0 run, which will keep them ahead by 1 as Ostenson heads back to serve. Received by Eberhardt. Sido set for Green, fading away. Good spot on the net, sent back, and set up for number 15, Walters. Received by Eberhardt. Sido back row to Eichstead, gonna get it over. Good spot, high to the ceiling, off the ceiling. And number 19, Heath, can't correct her stance in time as the Lancers get the serve back and now lead it by 2, 5-3. And number 2, Aurora Willits, heads back to serve. That one barely gets over, unfortunately curves off the sideline by about 5 feet. And the Wildcats now within 1, 5-4. As number 15, Walters, heads back to serve. Serve received by Nelner. Eichstead sends it up, and Sido will send it just over the net. Good spot by Sido. Just nicks it off the net, drops it down perfectly right in front of number 11, Curran. And the Lancers retake a 2-point lead, 6-4. As number 16, Sido, heads back to serve. Lofts it up and just off the top of the net. A little bit farther and that would have dropped down perfectly. Fortunately, not that centimeter higher again as the Wildcats bring it within 1, 6-5. And number 11, Curran, will serve. Off of Sido and into the bleachers. Ace for Curran. Wildcats now tied up at 6. Received by Sido. That finds its way over. Sent immediately back. Saved by Sido. Set for Green. Good tip over by Green. Good read, good execution. And the Lancers will retake a 1-point lead, 7-6. As number 13, Green herself, will head back to serve, trying to extend the lead she just got her Lancers of 1. Good spot to the back, and miscommunication by herself. Tried to bump it, had to change it to a set, ended up tipping it straight up and right back down onto herself. As Green gets an ace and extends the lead to 8-6. Another good spot there, sent immediately back, just gets beneath the ceiling as Eberhardt will set it for Nelner, who chips it just off the net. Sent back row, sends it back up, too far and high for number 5, Gomez, as the Lancers now lead it by 3, 9-6. Wildcats definitely looking tired out there. Lancers still going strong as Green will continue to serve. Another good spot to the back, set up for number 10, Gomez over the net. Saved by running Willits. Unfortunately, can't quite get over and can't be saved off the net by Eichstead as the Wildcats get it back and cut it within 2, 9-7. And number 10, Hansen, heads back to serve. Received by running Sito, finds its way over, sent immediately back, saved by Eichstedt. Eberhardt sets it up for Eichstedt to the back corner. Off the hands of number 15, Walters, and into the stands as the Lancers take a 3-point lead, 10-7, and forces the Wildcats to call a timeout. The Lancers have been in control most of the second set. Wildcats seeming to tire. Lancers played well in that first set until they got to 15, then couldn't find the Wildcat floor on the opposite side. Wildcats played perfectly till the end. Ended up winning it by 10, 25-15. Lancers trying to keep control of this toward the end and not let up a big run on the Wildcat side. Lancers currently have possession and service. It'll be number 3, Alex Nelner, who will serve as the Wildcats come out of their timeout. And the Lancers try to extend their 3-point lead, 10-7. Service by number 3, Alex Nelner, for the first time tonight. Good spot, lunging save. Set up and over by number 5, Gomez. Eberhardt saves it off the net, and it'll be sent over by Eichstedt. Willis tried to send it immediately back off the net, ends up sending it into the net as the Wildcats bring it within 2, 10-8. And number 5, Jasmine Gomez, heads back to serve. To the back, lunging save by Green. Eberhardt sends it back up, and Green fading away, going to get it over. Good effort by Green and Eberhardt. Can it pay off? Yes, it will, as number 14, Ostenson, sends it into the net, and the Lancers take a 4-point lead. 3-point lead, 11-8. And number 17, Miley Eberhardt, heads back to serve. Good spot. It'll be an ace off the hands of number 10, Hansen, into the stage. And now the Lancers take a 4-point lead, 12-8. And Eberhardt will serve again. One of Lancers' better servers, unfortunately, just off the top of the net in her first one. Since then, been going strong in these last two. Nearly an ace there. Ends up finding its way just barely over. Willett sends it up. Sito sets it up for Nelner to the back and drops it on the line. Good kill by Nelner. And the Lancers now lead it by 5, 13-8. They're halfway to their first set win of the year, holding on to a 5-point lead against the Wildcats. Eberhardt still going strong. Another nice one there. Lunging save, sent out of play. Another ace for Eberhardt, her second of the day. Lancers now lead it by 6, 14-8. That one sent about 4 feet off the sideline. And Eberhardt did her job, gave the Lancers a 5-point lead as the serve heads back to the Wildcats. It'll be number 19, Heath, who will try to bring some of that back. And gonna let this one go again. Second time she did that tonight. Last time she did that, ended up missing the next one. See what she does with it here. And almost misses that one as well. Just gets a tip of it. Ends up bouncing well before the net. Barely gets across half court. As the Lancers retake a 6-point lead, 15-9. And number 14, Anna Eichstead, heads back to serve. Good spot. Lunging save. Set up and bounces onto the Wildcat side. Ends up being sent over. Willett's going to send that one well off into the stands. As the Wildcats just inch out of there. That one bounced off the net. Just set over about an inch off the net. As the Wildcats bring it within 5, 15-10. And number 14, Ostenson, will serve. That one just clears the net. Saved by Green. Sido sets it back for Eberhardt or Nelner. Both of them kind of got a piece of it. And ends up being sent over and straight down by number 19, Heath. Lancers holding on to a 16-point lead, 6-point lead, 16-10, as number 2, Willits, heads back to serve. That one off and rolls along the bleachers. As the Lancers now only lead it by 5, 16-11. Been trading points the last few times. That'll work out for the Lancers in the end, as they have a decent-sized lead of 5. And number 15, Walters, will try to break that streak, who is now serving. And it will not break, as that one sends into the net. And number 16, Sido, heads back to serve. She had a few nice ones earlier this set. Trying to do the same here and clinch their win. Just 8 points away now. Ends up going underhand. That one just gets under the ceiling, as Willett sends it up off the ceiling, and Nelner backs away. I'm not sure why it was going to land right on top of her head if she hadn't even moved. And the Wildcats will bring it within 5, 17-12. And number 11, Curran, will serve, gets that one over, and drops it down nicely in between Eichstead and Sido. Ace for Curran, and the Wildcats will bring it within 4, 17-13. Gotta hope the Lancer lead is enough. Wildcats trying to make a comeback here. Lancers so close. They have a decent-sized lead. Need to get this back. Curran, one of the best servers for the Wildcats. She got a lot off him last time, and Green says no way as she drops one a foot from the back line. Ends Curran serving most likely for this set, and gives the Lancers back their 5-point lead, 18-13. And last time she dropped it nicely down. She ended up heading back to serve, and she'll do the same thing here. Had a nice run last time she was serving. See what she can do with it here. Good punch over by number 11, Curran. And we set for Nelner, who will just tip it over. Saved and set. Into the net, sent immediately back by Eberhardt. Off the net, and just tipped over, saved by Nelner. Eberhardt set for Nelner to the back. Tip to the back, sent back up, and not enough for number 11, Curran, to send it over as the Lancers retake a 6-point lead, 19-13. Wildcats 6 points away from the Lancers. Lancers 6 points away from a set 2 victory, their first of the year, as number 13, Green, will continue to serve. Launching save into the net, and can't be saved off the net as Green gets the ace, and the Lancers now into the 20s for the first time tonight, and get their largest lead of the night, 7, 20-13. Good spot, saved and set up. Back row for number 15. Ostenson will just get it over, sent immediately back by Eichstead. Saved, just tipped over, saved by Willits, will send it immediately back. Good spot by Willits. Drops it down over the head of Heath. And about 6 inches on the sideline, and a must-needed timeout for the Wildcats. Lancers starting to smell victory. They lead it by 8, 21-13. Back from the timeout, Lancers lead it by 8, 21-13. They're still going strong behind number 13, Green serves. Just 4 points away from taking the second set and sending us to a winner-take-all third set. Service by Green. Received, sent across, and over by number 5, Gomez. And he'll drop that one on the line as the Wildcats get it back and cut it down to 7, 21-14. And number 10, Emma Hansen, will head back to serve. Received by Sito, off the ceiling, saved by Eberhardt, and sent to the back by Green, puts it down nicely, lunging save, sent it back up, and sent over by number 14, Ostenson. Eberhardt sets it up to the back, Green almost gets it over, was well behind that back line, would have been an amazing hit if she ended up getting it over just a few inches off, as the Wildcats are now within 6, 21-15. Hansen still serving. Good spot, received by Sito. Set back and over by Nelner. Saved and set across for number 5, Gomez. Received by Nelner. Set way too far. Backwards. Nelner can't get a chance at it. And the Wildcats now within 5, 21-16. They're starting to make a comeback here late. Lancers need to get this one back. They're so close, just 4 points away. That one into the net. Big sigh of relief for the Lancers. They retake a 6-point lead, 22-16. Now just 3 points away as number 3, Alex Nelner, will head back to serve. Good spot, just clears the net. And set for miscommunication. Should have been Gomez, who didn't send it over when she was supposed to. And the Lancers now 2 points away. Lead it by 7, 23-16. Service by Nelner. Good spot. Dumping save. Just tipped over by Heath. And Eberhardt will just bump it over. Sent immediately back by Heath. Saved by Green. Eberhardt set for Green over the net. And set across for Heath. Sends it straight up. That one's not going over. That'll be 4 hits on the Wildcats. And Lancers now just 1 point away. They lead it by 8, 24-16. Nelner serving for the win. That one just clears the net, and it'll be an ace for Nelner. And that'll end it. Lancers win their first set of the year, 25-16 on a 4-0 run at the end. Nelner wins it on an ace. Game now tied at 1 set apiece. We'll play a third set to 25 in a few minutes to decide the victor of this one. Lancers looking for their first set win and game win in the same game when we return in about 3 minutes. And we are back and ready for set 3. Wildcats won the first one, 25-15. Lancers won the second one, 25-16. Lancers trying to end it out and win it in 3. All the momentum swinging their way. Just won their first set of the year. They are ready for this one. Wildcats will be serving first. Quick lineup checks seem to be all good. It'll be number 11, Veda Curran, who will serve first as he heads over to his podium to begin our third and final set. Run time this one currently at 42 minutes, should end in the next 20 or so. Get us started for JV around 6:30. Current time 5:46. And number 19, Abby Heath, will serve first. And when she sends the initial one, she usually gets it over as it's set back for Dobb fading away. Good spot, lunging save. And Heath will set it up for Curran over the net. Nearly gotten over, diving attempt by Sito off the hands of Green. Ends up going off the top of the net. And the Wildcats will strike first. They lead it by 1-0. Sends a high one, received by Hamilton all the way back. Saved and sent over by Ostenson. Off the net, saved by Nelner, and Dobb will tip it over. Set, that one gonna go under the net. Diving attempt by Heath, can't make it in time. And the Lancers will tie it up at 1. As number 13, Kira Green, heads back to serve. She's had some good serving streaks tonight, trying to start them off with a big one here. There's a good one to start. Off the hands of Heath. Set for Heath, who will tip it over. Sito's going to punch that one over. Good spot, saved and set across for Ostenson. Too far off the back line by about a foot. And Green will serve again with a 1-point lead, 2-1, their first of this set. Good spot, lunging save, high to the ceiling. Set straight down off the hands of Heath, ends up being a double hit and a lift, as the Lancers now lead it by 2, 3-1. Green gonna redo that one. And probably traded up. That was a nice serve. Just sent over by Heath. Sito sends it immediately back to the back. Good set up. Heath saves it on a slide and sent across by Curran. Sito set back for Eichstead, who has to bump it over. Saved and set across for Curran. Tips it off the net, and Sito ducked, thought Eichstead was going to go for it. Eichstead thought Sito was going to go for it. Ends up landing onto the Lancer side as they cut it within 1, 3-2. And it'll be number 14, Isabella Ostenson, who will serve, trying to tie it up at 3. Sends that one just off the net. It'll be an ace for the Wildcats. And they tie it up at 3. Just a centimeter lower, and that would have bounced back and given the Lancers a 2-point lead in the serve back. Just high enough that the Wildcats can tie it up. Now serving for the lead, offers ace, is Ostenson. And that one ends up landing on the sideline, back half of it. Extremely close. Carstensen calls it in, and the Lancers now trail it by 1, 4-3. Serve received by Nelner all the way back. Saved and set up for Curran. Just tips it over. Saved by Eichstedt. Sito, good dump. Saved. And tipped up for Curran, who can't quite send it over. Ends up landing at the feet of number 10, Hansen. And the Lancers will tie it up at 4. Service by Eichstedt, good spot, saved and set by Heath. For Curran, who sends that one way too far off the back line by about 3 feet. Lancers retake a 1-point lead, 5-4, as Eichstedt will continue to serve. Lunging save, sent up and into the net by number 15, Walters. Lancers now lead it by 2, 6-4. To the back, received, sent up, and into the net, back row by Ostenson. Lancers now lead it by 3, 7-4. Yeah, they're staying in control early. Still looking for that game win. Still keeping momentum on that side as Eichstedt still going strong. It'll be set back and over by Walters. Received by Green. Sito set for Dobb. Lofts it up to the back. Saved and set across for Curran into the net. Couldn't have a chance at it as the Lancers now lead it by 4, 8-4. And number 14, Eichstead, will continue to serve. Good spot to the back. Sent up and over by number 19, Heath. Sito punches it over off the net. Sent just over the net. Sito tried to punch it over again. Couldn't get it up fast enough as the Wildcats cut it within 3, 8-5. And number 15, Walters, will head back to serve. Serve received by Eichstead. Sito will just tip it over. Saved and sent over by number 5, Gomez, as Hamilton's spike ends up going straight down. And the Wildcats cut it within 2, 8-6. High serve to the back, received by Eichstead. Hamilton sends it up, and Sito ends up tipping it over, blocked immediately by Curran, who sent it right back where Sito was not, as the Wildcats now cut it within 1, 8-7. Trying to get something going their way. Now serving for the tie is Walters. That one just clears the net. Saved by Green. Hamilton sends it up, and Sito will send it over. Good spot. Lunging save, and saved off the net, but can't quite be sent over. Either way, Heath was in the net, as the Lancers take a 2-point lead, 9-7. And number 11, Ellie Dobb, heads back to serve. Good spot there. Sent back. Crossed by Curran, and just clears the net is number 14, Ostenson, and that's not coming back as the Wildcats cut it within 1, 9-8. And Curran will serve to tie. Received by Eichstead. Sito set for Lamphere. Good tip over, sent immediately back, and saved and tipped over by Sito. Sent up, across, and into the net by Heath. Lancers now lead it again by 2, 10-8. And it'll be number 16, Sito, heading back to serve. After sending her first one into the net, she's figured it out so far. Had some good ones tonight. Gonna serve it underhand again. Ends up being an ace into the net off of Heath, as the Lancers now lead it by 3, 11-8. Good spot, diving save, sent immediately back. Tipped by Dobb, that'll be a lift. Either way, it's not going over. Nearly an ace by Sito. Good diving attempt, gets it over by Heath, and the Lancers now only lead it by 2, 11-9. As number 10, Hansen, heads back to serve. Received by a running Sito. Set for Green to the back. Lunging save, sent over by Heath. Received by Hamilton. Green set for Hamilton, tips it into the net, and the Wildcats are within 1, 11-10, as the JV will enter just about halfway to the end of this third set, as Eberhardt going to enter for Dobb. And now Hansen will serve. Lofts it up, received by Hamilton. That finds its way over. Sent back by Heath and over by Gomez. Received by Eberhardt. Hamilton sends it off the net. Unfortunately, too far for Sito, as the Wildcats tie it up at 11. Lancers had a big lead. Wildcats have come all the way back, and it's looking like going to be a close one. As we are tied 11, Hansen's still looking for a lead. It'll drop into the net. Lancers still a bit of the lead left. They lead it by 1, 12-11. As number 10, Leah Hamilton, heads back to serve, trying to extend that 1-point lead. Good spot by Hamilton. Good tip over. Saved by Sito. Sent immediately back. Sent immediately back by Gomez. Sent immediately back by Eichstead. Sent up and over. Tipped by Sito. Hamilton sends it up, and Lamphere from the ground can't quite send it over. as the Wildcats cut it back to a tie, 12-12. And number 5, Gomez, heads back to serve. And sends that one to the net as well. Back-to-back net serves for the Wildcats. Lancers halfway to a set 3 victory and a game 1 win. It'll be number 12, Lamphere, heading back to serve, trying to extend their 1-point lead. Good spot there. Lynching save, sends immediately back. Eberhardt sends it immediately back as well. Curran going to set it up for Walters. Saved by Hamilton. Green set for Eberhardt, who will bump it to the back corner. Lunging save by Gomez. Sent up and finds its way over. Lunging save by Hamilton off the net. Tipped and nearly sent over by Sito. Ran up too far as the Wildcats retied up at 13. And number 19, Heath, heads back to serve. Fifth time serving tonight. 2, she had to replay it. Ended up sending that one into the net. 2, she just sent it right away. And this time, gonna want to replay 1. Will she get it over? Yes, she will. Lunging save by Lamphere. Eichstead sends it up, and Green will send it over. Good spot by Green. Lunging save. And tipped over by Curran. Saved by Sito. While Eberhardt sets it back, and Hamilton can't quite send it over. Probably could have just left that one for Hamilton, who was running in. Tried to send it over herself. Couldn't quite get it over. As the Lancers now trail for the first time since 1-0 this set. 14-13. Nelner will enter for Hamilton. And Heath will serve again. Lofts it up, received by Eberhardt. Eichstead sends it up. That one finds way over, sent immediately back. Tipped by Eberhardt. Lamphere tried to send it back up. Ends up heading off into the stands as the Wildcats will take a 2-point lead, 15-13. They're trying to pull away in the mid-teens. Lancers need to get this one back. Can't afford much more. As Heath trying to extend their lead. That one finds its way over. Eberhardt sends it immediately back. Saved by Heath and sent over by Walters. Eichstead set for Green, set for Eichstead, sorry. And Eichstead cannot get it over off a bump. And the Wildcats are now within 3, 16-13. And a timeout by the Lancers. Had a big lead. Now it's to the Wildcats. They lead it by 3, 16-13. JV is out there ready to go. Place pretty much packed already below me. Expecting a big turnout tonight. Last time Varsity played these Wildcats, it was away. We ended up winning 3-1. And a very good one at Taylor. The Lancers trying to extend their overall record to 21-6. And our conference record to 7-0. Starting to start it all off with a C team win. They already won their first set. They're going to need to go on a 3-point comeback to win the game as well. As we are back from the timeout. All 6 Wildcats been playing the whole time. See how they hang on until the end as Heath will continue to serve. Leading it by 3, 16-13. Lancers out of the timeout. See if they can bring this one back. And get our serving going. As Heath, foot fault. Point will go to the Lancers, and that's what they needed. We'll bring it within 2, and now a chance at the line for number 13, Green, to bring it back a little bit more even, currently trailing by 2, 16-14. Just needs at least one of these to bring it to just about even. Set across, and just over by number 14, Ostenson. Miscommunication by the Lancers. Lamphere went for it too late. Sent it into the net, and the Wildcats get it right back, still leading by 3, 17-14. And number 14, Ostenson, will head back to serve. Lunging save by Lamphere, gets up in the air, so sends it back, and Eichstead can't quite get it over, a little bit too high. And the Wildcats now lead it by 4, 18-14. To the back, received by Green. Set for Sito over the net. Good spot to the back. Sent up, across, and over by Heath. Saved by Nelner. Sito sets it up for Lamphere, fading away too far, and sends that one rolling along the side of the net as Willits will enter for number 13, Green. And number 14, Ostenson will serve, leading it by 5, 19-14. And sends that one into the net. Lancers back within 4, 19-15. As number 14, Anna Eichstedt, heads back to serve. Lancers going to need 2 or 3 to keep it close into the 20s. Eichstedt had a few good ones tonight. There's another nice one there. Sent to the back. Sending it back up is Gomez. Off, just clears the ceiling as Willits misses that one. And it'll give the Wildcats a 5-point lead, 20-15. And number 15, Walters, will serve. Lunging save by Eichstedt, just tipped over by Sito and drops it down. Good save by the Lancers, who bring it back within 4, 20-16. Good reaction time by Sito, who just gets it over in time. As a good server to have in this situation, it'll be number 17, Miley Eberhardt, serving. Trying to get on a nice run here, trailing by 4. Good spot to the corner, drops it down on the sideline. It'll be an ace for Eberhardt. Beautiful spot by Eberhardt. She starts it out strong. Brought it now within 3, 2017. Another spot. Good spot. Saved and set across for Heath over the net. Willits can't make it there in time. Ends up missing it and hits her foot and out of play. As the Wildcats retake a 4-point lead, 21-17. And Colonel serve. Received by Eichstedt. Sito sends it up and into the net. As the Wildcats starting to smell a victory. They lead it by 5 and are just 3 points away from taking the third and final set. Let me say by Willits. Sito saves it up and Eichstedt will send it over. Good save by Sito and it'll end up going off in their favor. For received by Willits. Sito gets it up and Eichstedt sends it over, which ends up not coming back on the return as Green will re-enter for Willits. And number 16, Sito, will serve. And Lancers now within 4, 22-18. Sito a chance to make a comeback here. Sends a nice high one to the back. Saved and set up and into the net. As Heath ran in to try to take it, ends up running into number 5, Gomez. And sends it into the net. Lancers within 3, 22-18. Wildcats within 3 of a set 3 victory. So going to need 2 or 3 more here to keep it close. Another nice spot. Saved by Heath. Sent up and over by Gomez. Off the lights. Unfortunate for the Lancers. Lamphere was getting ready to set it up. Just nicked the light, which sent it off. And no one can react in time as it drops to the Lancer side. And the Wildcats now within 2, leading by 4, 23-19. Good spot, received by Eberhardt. Sito sends it up, and Nelner can't make it back in time as the Wildcats now within 1 with a 5-point lead, 24-19. And it'll be number 10, Heath, serving for the win. Can they take it in 3 sets? Lunging save by Nelner off the ceiling, and yes, they can. As 2 lights in a row end up killing the Lancers at the end. They lose the first one by 10, 25-15. Win the second one by 9, 25-16. And lose the final one by 6, 25-19. Did win their first set of the year. And it feels like a win for them as JV will start up in a few minutes here. Turning on in about 20, 25 minutes for the beginning of that.